Have you ever felt like nobody sees you? Like you could walk through a crowded room and not a single person would notice you were there? Sometimes it feels as if you are a shadow, drifting quietly while the world just moves on without you. You start to wonder if your presence even matters, or if you are simply invisible, lost in the background of other people's lives. It's a quiet ache, this feeling, one you carry alone, just hoping anyone, might look your way and truly see you. If you've ever felt this way, please know you are not alone. So many hearts carry this hidden pain. But what happens next in this story changes everything. This is for anyone who has ever felt unseen. So listen closely. Lila was the kind of person who moved softly through the world. She spoke in a gentle voice, always careful not to interrupt, and always let others go first. In school, at work, even at home, she just blended into the background, like a quiet note in a very busy song. People rarely remembered her name, and sometimes, when she looked in the mirror, she honestly wondered if she was fading away. Lila's kindness was quiet, her laughter was soft, and her dreams were kept secret. She would watch others shine, wishing she could be seen, but she truly believed she was meant to stay in the shadows. She thought her presence was small, her worth easy to overlook. But Layla's story is different. Beneath her gentle silence, a longing grew, a hope that maybe one day someone would finally notice her. She believed she didn't matter, but life was about to show her something new. Each morning, Lila would slip quietly into her day. At school, she sat in the back row, her hand half raised but never called upon. In the hallway, friends passed by, their laughter swirling around her like wind, but never quite touching her. At work, she finished her tasks with such care, but her efforts always went unnoticed, her name forgotten in meetings. Even at home, her family's conversations seemed to move right past her, as if she were just a gentle breeze in a busy room. Lila's heart would whisper to her, "Maybe I'm just meant to be invisible." She watched others gather in circles, share secrets, and celebrate small joys, while she just stood at the edge, completely unseen. Every single day, small moments reminded her of her place in the background, a forgotten invitation, a missed smile, a story she never got to tell. She felt invisible, her presence like a faint shadow on the wall, until one day, everything changed. One evening, Lila was invited to a friend's birthday gathering. The room was filled with laughter, music, and the warm glow of celebration. Yet, as she stood there among the crowd, Lila felt more alone than ever. Conversations flowed all around her, but no one asked her to join. She smiled politely, but her words were lost in all the noise. When she tried to speak, her voice was drowned out, her thoughts left completely unheard. She watched as friends hugged, shared stories, and made memories, while she just lingered at the edge, unnoticed. The ache in her chest grew heavy, and she wondered if anyone would even notice if she slipped away. Tears stung her eyes, but she blinked them back, not wanting to draw any attention. In that moment, Lila's hope just faded. She almost gave up on being seen, believing her worth had been erased by the world's indifference. The pain of invisibility pressed in, and she wondered if she would ever matter to anyone at all. After the party, Lila walked home beneath the quiet streetlights, her heart just heavy with loneliness. As she reached her building, she noticed Mrs. Ellis, her elderly neighbor, tending to a small garden by the steps. Mrs. Ellis looked up and smiled, her eyes so gentle and kind. "You look tired, dear," she said softly, her voice like a warm blanket. Lila hesitated, so unused to being noticed, but something in Mrs. Ellis's gaze made her pause. For the first time in a very long while, someone truly saw the sadness in her eyes. Mrs. Ellis patted the bench beside her, inviting Lila to sit. At first, Lila wanted to retreat, to hide her feelings like she always did. But the warmth in Mrs. Ellis's presence felt safe, like sunlight after a long shadow. Slowly, Layla sat down, unsure but hopeful. In that quiet moment, she realized she was not invisible to everyone. Someone had finally seen her, and that one small act of kindness began to melt the loneliness she carried inside. Mrs. Ellis sat quietly with Lila, letting the silence settle between them before she spoke. "You know, Lila," she began, her voice soft, I've spent many years in this garden, watching the sunlight dance and the shadows stretch across the ground. People often forget about the shadows, but I think they're just as important as the light. Lila looked down. Unsure what to say, Mrs. Ellis continued, "A shadow only exists because there is light. Even when you feel unseen, you are still part of something beautiful. The world needs both sunlight and shadows to feel whole." Lila listened, the words swirling gently in her mind. She had always believed her quietness made her less. But Mrs. Ellis's story made her wonder if being unseen didn't mean she was unimportant. "Even shadows are proof of light," Mrs. Ellis smiled. "You matter, even if you think no one notices." What she learned in that moment began to change her. Lila realized that even shadows have a rightful place in the world. As Lila walked home that evening, Mrs. Ellis's words echoed in her heart. For the first time, she wondered if her quiet presence had its own kind of light. Maybe she didn't need to be loud or noticed by everyone to matter. She thought about the shadows in the garden, how they moved so gently, always there, shaping the beauty of the day. Lila realized she had been measuring her worth by the attention she received, not by the quiet kindness she gave. And in that moment, everything shifted inside her. She began to see herself not as invisible, but as quietly important. In that gentle moment, Lila understood. She is enough, just as she is. In the days that followed, Lila moved through life with a new softness in her heart. She smiled at neighbors, offered help when she saw someone struggling, and spoke up gently in conversations. Her words were still quiet, but now they carried a warmth and a meaning that they didn't have before. And people began to notice her kindness, the way she listened and cared. Small thank yous and new friendships started to blossom all around her. Lila no longer tried to disappear. She let her gentle light show, and the world responded, meeting her with kindness in return. Others noticed too, drawn to her quiet strength. Lila started to carry her worth with her, softly but surely. If you have ever felt invisible, please know this: you are not alone and you are not unseen. Your quiet presence matters more than you could ever realize. Even if the world sometimes overlooks you, your worth is real and it cannot be erased. You bring a gentle light that others need, even if they don't always say it. This story is for you. You are enough, just as you are. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to feel seen today. Let them know they are not alone and that their presence truly matters. Together, we can remind each other of our quiet worth. You are part of this community. We see you, and you belong here. Thank you for listening.